What's up, everybody? I'm Greg Miller. Michael Condry is here to tell me all about Call of Duty Advanced Warfare and that hunk of a man, Kevin Spacey. But first, Nintendo isn't bringing the new 3DS over here to the United States, and Charlie Sheen wants back in 2.5 Men. This is Up at Noon. The best beer in the business, Marty Sleva.
Thank you.
The one and only producer slash seducer, Nick Scarpino.
Hey everyone.
You're back. And today's top story. The new 3DS is coming to Japan, we knew. It's now coming to Australia and New Zealand in November, and there are no plans to bring it to the United States and or Europe yet in this calendar year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They said,
Boo is right.
They said not this year. Mm-hmm. What the f, Nintendo? I played this, I still have the original 3DS. Yeah. I played the Smash demo on it, and I'm like, these characters are really small. Yeah. It's time for me to upgrade. And I was like, wait, they're making a new 3DS called the new 3DS, which is kind of confusing.
It is very
I'll
confusing.
just wait,
Yeah.
and now they're me over.
Yeah. The only thing that gets me through the night is hoping that in Australia, when they open those boxes, there's just like scorpions and sand spiders in them. They just come out. And,
that would be a really interesting marketing technique on Nintendo's part.
Yeah.
1 in 10 boxes have scorpions and sand spiders.
That would be amazing.
That could happen.
I mean, you know, the American market's not a very big market, so you don't really need to sell it to us.
It's just, I mean, it's so weird.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, I guess the argument would be that manufacturing, right? You have, those are smaller territories. You can make them. You can actually produce the demand. But just do the Apple thing and put them out here with no demand and let the market take care of it, and I'll pay a lot of money for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's part of the thing. I think Nintendo also wants to go all in on the Wii U this holiday, in America at least. Like, they want to make sure, like, let's not just put anything else out there. Let's make sure people just want to buy the Wii U and the Wii U alone.
It's a big gamble.
It is a big gamble, like Procter Gamble.
No, don't laugh at that. There's no, that's not even a joke.
I thought they were sponsors.
No, Procter & Gamble is not a sponsor.
All right.
We should be so lucky.
Yeah.
But we're not.
No, I don't know. I'm not happy with Nintendo as usual.
My question for you, Greg, is when does the PS Vita come to the United States?
Oh, that's a funny question.
Is that going to happen sometime?
It's a funny one. It's a good one. It's a good one, Nick. It's a good one. Next story. Charlie Sheen is open to returning to 2.5 Men.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
You know what?
Thank God.
Our long national nightmares over.
I just like that he literally like flipped them off and walked out the door and called their moms whores, and now he's like, well, I'm open to returning.
Yeah.
He practically did everything except burn the building down behind him.
Yeah.
No, this is like the equivalent if like one of us like took a shit on our boss's desk and just like 2 years later we're like, hey, we can come back, right? This is fine. Like you guys forgot about that.
It's more the equivalent to when you're in mid. You're like, hey, can I still have my job? Is that cool?
Right? Yeah.
What's that for lunch? Is that couscous?
Yeah.
You know?
Was it couscous?
Well, my boss eats a lot of couscous.
His boss doesn't eat a lot of couscous.
I don't think that's true at all. But yeah, of course he was fired in 2011 after the very public fight with Chuck Lorre. That's when the whole winning thing came around, the Tiger's blood. Everybody thought this guy was insane.
Then he went 3 years ago?
Yeah. Then he went and did an FX show that nobody's watched, and that's about to end. And now he needs more money, and 2.5 Men's about to end, which is a series he's dead in. His character is dead.
Yeah.
And now he's like, and he's just saying that he has a great idea to bring his character back to say goodbye to everybody.
And I like how then when they like ask like Chuck and those guys for comments, they're like, no, that's absolutely not happening. Like, none of us have talked about that.
Yeah. Charlie Sheen's like, I'm talking to WBTV about it. And WBTV is like, no, we are not talking
that frog
about
is like, it ain't gonna happen.
I missed that frog.
So do I. What happened to him?
I don't know.
Got dissected.
In other news, Titan has been canceled. That's the Blizzard MMO we've heard about for 7 years.
Yeah.
Now done. Boo, we're booing this?
Boo. They're saying boo earns?
No, they're saying boo straight up. The quote from Blizzard was, quote, we didn't find the fun. This came out in an article. People booing, of course, I say it's good news. More games should be canceled. We should pull the, I'm serious, Duke Nukem Forever should have never come out. Period. I'd rather than be like, you know what, we put money into this, we tried it doesn't work, we're not gonna go forward with it.
Yeah. It's staggering to think about working on something for 7 years though and having it canceled.
At what point do you not find the fun and you just call a spade a spade? Like 7 years of working on something. You telling me like the fun was kind of right around the corner for the first 6 years, and then you're like 7 years, you came around the corner, you're like, oh.
Well, also 7 years.
I quit. I'm done.
Naughty Dog literally made the Uncharted trilogy and The Last of Us in 7 years.
But I mean, to that point, you know, Last of Us, Naughty Dog's been public about that. In the end, it didn't come together to the final 2 weeks. That they thought they had a bomb on their hands. And then it finally came together in the way they wanted.
If they would have had 2 more weeks, this game would have been incredible.
Yeah, they would have had it. But that's my whole thing. Is like plenty of games come out with these long development cycles, and you're like, woof, no. Half-Life 3, it's never gonna live up to the hype. Just cancel it. Don't do it.
Sure.
If it's even being worked on.
Last Guardian. if it
Yeah.
exists.
Oh my God, The Last
Yeah.
Guardian is an even better example. Yeah.
But then you have things like Final Fantasy Versus 13, which was that long, and then all of a sudden got rebooted as Final Fantasy 15, and that was like the biggest game of TGS.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we'll see if it's a good game of TGS.
the goodest game of TGS. Greg Miller.
I didn't say it was the goodest game. You're putting words in my mouth. Final news of the week. United Front Games. They, of course, made Mod Nation Racers. We all remember. They also made this game called Sleeping Dogs. Now they're making Triad Wars for PC. It's an online, open-world PC game set in the Sleeping Dogs Hong Kong universe. Marty,
Yeah.
we've talked about this before. In bed. Are we...
It was separate beds. We were on phones like, what are you doing? You hang up. No, you hang up.
But you were in the same room, which was really
It was the
weird.
same room. Yeah.
Yeah.
We,
It's a hotel room in Shinjuku.
Are we finally ready to announce that what is next gen, what defines this generation of consoles and games, is online play?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not happy about that, but I
Yeah.
think that's what it is.
Why are you not happy about that?
I don't like playing with other people. I generally don't
You
like
don't like
people. I like half
being
of the people on this
cooperative?
stage.
You seem to be the kind of person that really likes to just kind of do your own thing.
Yeah, lone
Play
wolf.
against other people. It's
Yeah.
like you be the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not me.
Oh, keep saying that.
No.
I like
How many
this.
games this generation have you played now online? Thank you very much. I mean, we're
What's
talking
the last
about
game you played?
GTA 5.
Jeez, probably GTA 5 actually.
You figure Destiny now, of
Yep.
course. You're looking down the barrel now of a whole bunch of different games. Division coming up, we
Sure.
talked about the Rainbow Six one,
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed. Now, those are all Ubisoft games. Stick with me. Then you got Drive,
Yeah.
Club. You got to put the,
You got the hit Ryan Gosling game, Drive, Club.
what if they marketed that way? It was like Drive and Neon, ..
Yeah,
Club at the
Club,
bottom,
yeah.
like Evolution.
Yeah, but you had Titanfall, the same thing.
Yeah.
Like literally every Ubisoft game now, when it gets revealed at E3, the end of the trailer is the camera zooming out, and it turns out everything from the Crew to Assassin's Creed, like Watch Dogs, everything is you playing with other people.
Right.
I'm glad Nintendo hasn't done that yet. That's nice. Man, if the next Mario game, if it's like Mario running around and the camera zooms out, it's just 1,000 Marios running around, I'm throwing in the towel, I'm
That's
done.
the scariest image you could ever imagine. 1,000 Marios roaming the countryside, all
Yeah.
these Goombas just getting slapped to death.
That's
They didn't
Italy.
ask for an
That's
Nintendo.
Italy.
That's Italy.
That's what Italy's like.
Wow.
That's in Europe.
Nick, you're Italian, is that true?
No.
No, that's not even close.
Was that vaguely offensive to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm. It's not that I'm against the online
Sure.
games. I enjoy I'm having a hell of a time with Destiny right now, of course. But it's just weird that that's what everyone's latched onto
agree.
right now. That
Yeah.
we have this power, and this is how we're gonna use it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it makes sense. That's just the way the world is moving. Everyone has supercomputers in their pocket, and they're always.
And it's all about interconnectivity, right? I mean,
Sure.
You're constantly online, you're constantly connected to all
Yeah.
your friends, so why not take it that next step and be like, we're going to play games together?
Yeah, not only are you playing games with other people, but you can stream your games, and people are just watching you play the games, and they can talk to you while you're doing that.
Yeah, that part I still don't get. I still don't
neither.
understand why
Yeah.
anyone would want to watch.
Look at me, I'm
play anything.
entertaining. You watch me play games. It's
Oh,
fun.
you're
I've watched you play
Whoa!
games. You are entertaining when you play games.
Yeah, I curse a lot and I yell.
My two problems.
Yeah.
I don't wear a lot of clothing when I play games.
Translation, zero clothing.
I play games when I get home from a bar, and so I slur my speech. That's why I have a problem with voice
Did you
commands,
just
too.
get home from a bar right now?
It was a wet lunch.
Okay.
Speaking of online games, Mini Greg way, we've been doing this whole month with Destiny, where we want you guys to send in clips of you dancing. Remember, we said dance like a Destiny character, and you'll win a copy of Destiny. And then it turned out you all bought Destiny, so no one did that. So we said send in clips of you dancing in the video game Destiny, and you'll win a $60 GameStop gift card. Many of you have. Here is this week's winner. That looked like fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of fun, Greg Way, my next guest is making a game that's probably going to be pretty fun. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Michael Condry. This is Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. As I live and breathe, Michael Condry. How are you, sir?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for coming. You have
Thanks
quite
for
the
being here.
handshake. I like that.
That's kind of weird.
Is it?
I don't know.
That's a compliment. Don't you want? I mean, what? That's like our first impression. I've met you before, obviously, but
That's
you
true.
know, it's always been in passing.
Last time I met you, you gave a big bro hug to my partner, Glenn Schofield. So That handshake was a little soft.
Do you want to? Come
No,
on, get up! It's happening
hey.
now. Come here, you big log.
Oh my.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you know, Sledgehammer, I owe a lot to you guys. Of course, the first guest ever on Up at Noon.
That's right.
Glenn came. You were too busy apparently.
Well, that was the first show. I got to see if you guys were gonna get this thing off the ground.
You're like, they've made
Take a
it
little
3
wait and see.
years.
That's right.
Now I'll finally go on there and see what's up with them. No, you're here.
I am. Thank you
Call
for
of
having
Duty
me.
Advanced Warfare.
That's right.
I can't believe it's almost here already. It's come so fast.
I can't believe it's been 3 years. It's amazing.
Yeah, you and me both, brother. I guess what is happening right now at the studio? You've come this far with this game. You're almost there. The finish line is in sight.
That's right.
Is it crazy crunch time where people and the significant others at home are writing anonymous letters saying you're killing my husband and/or wife?
Well, let's hope not.
Okay.
There is a lot going on at the studio for sure. It's been a 3-year journey, like you said, so it's been quite a run, and we're putting the finishing touches on it now, which is super exciting. So there's all the anticipation of sharing it with fans on November 3rd. It's been a labor of love for sure. There's some tired developers.
Sure. Does that happen every time though?
Yeah, it really does. I
Yeah.
mean, look what we do. It really is about trying to squeeze every last bit of energy into putting something great on disc, and this one's no different. So it's like that on every game I've been a part of.
Sure. So then right now, what is the fear level at work like? You figure every Call of Duty that comes out, every Call of Duty, it's the biggest entertainment experience ever. One day, and I'm not cursing you here, one day that's not going to happen. One day Call of Duty is going to come out and it's only going to sell 2 billion instead of 3 billion, and everyone's like, what's happening? Is that something you worry about?
Well, no, I got to be honest, and I'm going to answer it in this way. Not that somebody isn't worried about that, but Sledgehammer is. And I mean, we worry about whether or not the fans will love it for what it is.
Yeah.
Right? You think you make something quality, and everything else follows. So, yeah, I mean, obviously we're standing on the shoulders of giants with huge expectations of the franchise, and we want to deliver something that puts Sledgehammer's mark on a game that fans think is great, and we hope that people think it's one of the best Call of Duties they've ever played.
How do you get to that point though, where you're finally like, all right, it's done, it has to go?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like every developer you talk to says that we could work on this game forever. It could never come out, right? It could be a Half-Life 3, but no, that they want to make sure it's the best it can be, but at some point you have to stop. I mean, how do you know when to stop, other than hey, it's release day?
Well, yeah, I think there's some of that. I mean, we've had plans laid for 3 years to get to this November, right? And like you said, like what's consistent with every game? Well, another thing consistent with every game is you always leave stuff on the table, right?
Yeah.
Your ambitions are always set super high, and there's always ideas that you never get to. That's also inconsistent across every game I've worked on. But if you set the right vision early and you focus on the things that we think fans will think are great, then hopefully you get to an end zone or a finish line. I got to tell you, I don't know if somebody told me today you have another year of this, my body might just explode right here on camera. Like I don't think I can handle it.
Yeah, because I imagine that's how. I mean, for somebody like me, talentless hack who doesn't make video games, like every step you take opens up like another branch. Like, oh well, this is cool. What if we did this, or what if we did that?
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. And every year the industry changes, and there's something new that comes out that's exciting, and there's new innovations in hardware. So yeah, you're always chasing a moving target, right? But for this one, we had goals set around what we wanted to deliver in the narrative and the campaign, co-op, which we just shared. That's pretty exciting. MP. So I think we've driven hard for 3 solid years. The team is I'm so proud of what they put into it. Frankly, it's all the passion of the developers there at the studio to deliver for this November, and we're ready. We're ready to put it in the hands of fans.
So then going back in time, working your way back these past 3 years, where do, I guess, the tentpole things people know about Advanced Warfare come from? Or I guess, originate, right? You're talking about the narrative was this whole Kevin Spacey story from the get-go what you were driving for, or was it something you had this character you started working on and that happened?
Yeah, I mean, there are things that we know are part of the tentpole of what Call of Duty is, right? Like the MP experience, what that gun-on-gun action feels like at 60 frames. There's a lot of things you'll hear, right? But the narrative is something I think that Sledgehammer from day one focused on pretty heavily. And we're storytellers, what we've done in the past with narrative-driven games like Dead Space, right? So,
I've heard of it, yeah, Dead Space, I remember.
I'm not name-dropping there, by the way. I'm just saying, like, it's kind of what's in the DNA of our developers, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, absolutely, the focus on narrative from day one. Now, Kevin came in a little later than that as sort of an opportunity to really lift based off of his performance. You've heard Glenn say before, like, we always had a character like him in mind, and in fact, many times you look at how he portrays his characters in 7 and others, and you're like, wow, if you could ever get your ideal actor to play Jonathan Irons, who would it be? And So that's been awesome. Yeah.
How
awesome was it?
I was gonna say no. How crazy was it when when you're like, oh, we'll email Kevin Spacey,
Yeah.
oh God, he's interested. Like, could you believe it? Like, I mean, I know Call of Duty has this, bravado and this name outside of just video games, right? Like, people understand that this is a huge deal, but to start seeing somebody like Kevin Spacey come over and do this and have the balls on his face and do the whole mocap and everything, I can't believe it. I couldn't believe it when I saw the trailer.
I'm stuck on the balls on his face.
It happens a lot. A lot of balls get stuck on a lot of people's faces, and that's how games get made.
Wow.
That's what Travis Willingham told me last week. I don't know.
I don't even know how to recover from that, Greg.
At my hotel. No, it's fine. Don't worry. Put the balls on his face out of your mind.
Okay.
There's no balls on Kevin Spacey's face anymore.
Thank God. Yeah, no, it was remarkable to have him come in and be willing to engage in a new set of fans, right?
Yeah.
In a new media. This medium was kind of unfamiliar to him, and I think he came in with the passion of wanting to learn about it, contribute to it. And yeah, I don't get really starstruck, but I got to tell you, the first time Kevin Spacey walks out onto your performance capture stage and just starts performing like only he can do, it's pretty awesome.
I bet. When you brought him on, and just from the trailer, you're one of those games, spoiler alert, that I'm going to play regardless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like when the trailer comes out and I see it for the first time, oh, it looks great. I then kind of try to go into blackout. You know what I mean? Where I don't want to know too much. I want the experience to be new. What you see in that initial trailer, right, where you reveal Kevin Spacey, and even now in the most recent trailer when he's yelling at people and he's like, I have the authority. Did you ever just go, man, we need to call Netflix and just rewrite this script to be a House of Cards spinoff, alternate universe? Because it seems like it totally could be Frank Underwood.
Or they should rewrite House of Cards to be a Call of Duty spinoff.
There you go. Wow,
There you
I
go.
like that a lot.
Right?
Yeah.
See?
You just blew my mind. Somebody
That's
get
why I'm
the developer of Netflix on the show, because then we will just propose the same question to him.
I like that idea.
I'm glad. I'm glad. See, it's all working out now.
There you go. No, but it is, yeah, I got to tell you, there's this November for fans, I hope, when you see Advanced Warfare.
Yeah.
And you see Season 3 of House of Cards, which I'm a binge watcher, like
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sure you
gotta
are.
be.
Like there's going to be a lot of really great Kevin Spacey out there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So then, the big thing you revealed at the end of last week was this co-op mode.
That's right.
Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, we're bringing Advanced Warfare's co-op, 4-player exo survival.
Yeah.
Which sort of, if you envision all of the advanced soldier technology, all of just the souped up horsepower of the exo and everything it brings to a cooperative experience, wave after waves of varying enemies who have technology that's equally powerful, right? So it's going to be just full on crazy, like survive as long as you can with your exo kind of pimped out. I don't know. Think like Iron Man version 1, right?
Yes, I like everything you're saying.
Right, me too.
Yeah.
And man, it's a ton of fun. And the enemies are crazy coming at you with everything from, our souped up Juggernaut, which is the mech, to they have cloak ability and the ability to boost and dodge and slam. And it's fun and it's frenetic and it brings all of the loot from multiplayer. And it's just, man, I got to tell you, it's a really extremely well-positioned bridge between the campaign and everything about the advanced soldier there and the MP experience into this co-op with 4 friends online, and we're pretty proud of it.
Yeah. I like co-op. That's how I like to play games.
Yeah.
The competitive, I always say I don't have enough testosterone for it.
Yeah.
You get out there, somebody's way better than me, I just want to stop playing.
Yeah.
That's what happens. I don't get, but co-op,
Might be
work
for you.
with my friends.
Yeah.
I like
No,
that
it's
a lot.
good and it's fun, and it comes to life when you put it in your hands, right?
Yeah.
So like that player experience of working with your friends to just withstand endless waves of enemies through this progression of experiences with all the power of the exo and score streaks and everything that you've known. It's a fan favorite at the studio, so hopefully the fans will get a kick out of it.
When you think about the exosuit and you think about it in the timeline, is that the most, I guess, Dead Spacey thing you brought to this game? You know what I mean? Like you look at that and you can, Dead Space, right? It was always the lines. It was always Isaac in that suit. It was always him with a cool weapon and doing this. But he wore a suit that made him more than just a man. He was this engineer, right?
Yeah.
That could stand up to this thing. Do you see it that way? I mean, like the suit is like part of what Sledgehammer's all about, or is it somewhere else in there?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I mean, certainly the background, our studio's pedigree, kind of what we worked on in the past, influenced us and how we think about everything from the creative to the narrative. But, the truth can be said of other great pieces of work, whether it's film or other games that we love to play.
Yeah.
There was never a conversation where we sat down and we thought, oh, man, we got the answer. Let's just take Isaac's rig and put it into, no, that never happened. However, all the behaviors and abilities that what we were seeing in the Future Force Warrior program through the EXO, it did line up perfectly with what we wanted to do with innovating for the player off the controller.
Yeah.
And so there is real-world applications that inspired us, but certainly I can't deny that some people might say, oh, that seems like Isaac's rig. Very different though. But one thing that is similar to your point is like we wanted it to be grounded and relatable, and Isaac Clarke was an engineer. He wasn't a superhero. He was like that made him a real character you could relate to, and this really was meant to have you relate to those abilities in a grounded and believable way. If that makes any sense.
It makes sense to me. Anyways, let's get off the cup. Here's my, I guess, final question.
Final question? We just started.
I know. Well, this is how Up at Noon goes.
Well,
the internet these days.
Poorly?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I kid. Come on, I love.
And yes, it does. Up at Noon goes poorly each and every week. No, the question I have for you is Advanced Warfare.
Yes.
Done for the most part. You're still getting it done, but it's mostly
almost done.
You're there.
Yeah.
How quickly do you have to start thinking about your next game, or is that already happening? No,
No.
And I'm not looking for a title here.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I think right now the order of next steps, right, is we've got to finish the game, which is great. We're so close.
Yeah.
And boy, the team is excited for that. Of course, we're going to be pushing to get day one ready for fans. So there's going to be some last-minute tweaks and tuning and some balancing that we know has to happen leading up to November 3rd. And then, some exciting stuff over the DLC season.
Sure.
We're hopeful, of course, that Advanced Warfare has fans that demand more of the same, because it's a fictional universe that we're pretty obviously sort of tied to now and proud of. And so, I don't know. It hasn't started yet. It won't be too far off that we can focus on the DLC season and really listening to the fans and making sure that experience. And there's a big difference between what you think you have to get out on November 3rd and then what the day one fan feedback is.
Sure.
If you get it all right, great, home run.
Yeah, and that won't happen.
and there'll be enough things that we're close that we'll have to tweak and tune and get just right based off of fan feedback. But that's what's great about Call of Duty. And then we'll start thinking about what's down the road after some rest and hopefully some celebration.
Well-deserved rest.
I hope so. I think so.
Now I said last question. That was last topic, I guess. Here's the follow-up for it. Do you think you'd ever want to, or will you ever get back to third person?
Well, I think there's no absolutes in this industry. Certainly, I can't say that we would never go back. Well, and in particular, when you say third person, in my head, I heard the question, will you ever go back to Fog of War? Because that's generally what people ask, the third person Call of Duty, Fog of War. I don't know that we'll ever go back to Fog of War, the third person Vietnam-based game that we started Sledgehammer on. But I think there's a lot of things that we love as fans of that genre. I love character action games, right? I love what you can do when you can see your character on screen. There's some fundamental advantages to that genre where you can do some movements like you see in great games like Uncharted, right? Yeah. That I think have a place in Call of Duty. That place isn't in Advanced Warfare today, but we talk about it. And so, I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. So I can't say we'll never go back.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That's good. Yeah, that was great. You did good.
Yeah? Covered all my bases?
You did. It was very diplomatic. You didn't say no, you didn't say yes.
There we go.
You let it know. But I mean, I think that goes back to the point we were talking about earlier, right? Everything evolves.
It does,
right? Like,
absolutely.
I have to imagine, and again, talentless hack, but to be in your shoes and be making games and doing these different things, for people to say, all right, we're going to go back to this game, it's got to feel like, well, I mean, maybe, maybe not, but we're so far beyond that now. Beyond that, it's a whole different can of worms, right? Like I imagine.
Well, I think so. I mean, to me, I can't think of an industry that innovates and has a fan base that pushes for innovation like games, right? Interactive entertainment. I mean, right now, whether it's hardware innovations like the new platforms or your new mobile devices or incredible things coming on with the VR, right? Like things are changing faster than they've ever changed in this industry, and that's already fast, right? So I think you can't spend a lot of time looking in the rearview mirror. Where are we going to be in the next 2-3 years as an industry? I don't know. It's exciting times, and Call of Duty and Sledgehammer, we want to thrill fans, and so if that means taking some next steps in innovation, whether that's new hardware or new genre types, get a little breather after this one. Take a look at what's going on out there, kind of come back to some ideas that we didn't have time to fully flesh out and see. But I don't know, we've got a lot of momentum. I love being part of the franchise. We're looking forward to just seeing how fans react, and then kind of using that to springboard to the next one.
All right. Well, like I said, take that well-deserved rest. It's been a long
Appreciate
3
that.
years.
Do I get to ask a question?
Sure. What do you want to
I
know?
don't have any questions.
Oh,
but
then that was just a weird segue to make.
that was my question. Do you ever
Okay.
get that where people say, "Can I have one more question?" and you're like, "That isn't that sort of rhetorical?" Not really. See, I'm getting in your head now.
No. Yeah.
I was just gonna ask why you're so pretty today. Look at me. I
I'm
came
so
looking
pretty
like
every day. You
Well,
need to
that's-
watch Up at Noon every Monday on IGN. 12 Pacific usually. Went up late today, but no big deal. It got up in the end, and that's really what matters. But I'll tell you what won't be late. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
That's right.
This November.
In fact, early.
Yeah.
Say it for me.
No, I forget what the
Oh.
I know all
Oh.
about it.
Wait, what?
The trailer ends with it. I'm sorry, I don't remember the early access name. What is it? What is it? What's the early access
Say
name?
it. Say line.
Line.
November 3rd.
Oh no, not the date. You can get it on November 2nd, 24 hours early using
Yeah,
some.
that's all wrong too. Day 0, November 3rd, with fans and Greg.
Me. I'll be playing. Michael,
Kevin
thank you so
Spacey.
much. Kevin Spacey too. He's coming out right now. Oh, he left because of the balls in the face thing. Thank you to Michael Condry, Nick Scarpino, Marty Sleva, and you, my audience! If you want to be in that audience, go to ign.com/up-at-noon for details. As always, I'll be answering comments the first hour this video is live, so come tell me your favorite Charlie Sheen role. Mine? Hot Shots, Part 2. Actually a really bad Charlie Sheen movie. Do not watch that. We'll be back next Monday, but until then, I'm going back to bed.